Hey Cal, I thought I'd make you a quick video so I can show you a few things in my digital studio that you might find helpful. I've opened a pre-designed template, much like the one that you've used for the kids' baby album. This one is called Summer Home, and I just want to go through it quickly with you. Show you the palette. Over on the left is the resource palette. When I click my photograph icon, this is where you can bring up all your picture albums. So I just click on Browse, and then mine are under my pictures, which is under my iPhoto library. I'm sure yours is the same, because I think you said you're also on a Mac. So I just selected my album and then hit Open, and then all my pictures populate here on the left-hand side. Over on the right is where we have the Design Center. You may not use a lot of this when you're using a pre-designed album, but it's good to just know where everything is. This is where you have your Designer Series paper and your cardstock. Then you can also access your photos over here as well. This is where you can add a text box for your journaling, embellishments, all your ribbons and brads, all of those fun things, punches, stamps, and these options down here, video and multimedia and music and narration, that's when you want to burn a DVD for like a movie to play on your computer or on your TV. But for right now, this is the main page of my album, and I think you've pretty much got this down to a science, but all you need to do is just click and drag your picture right in there, and I'll just, find a good picture of the kids here. I know they're so big, right? Look at all these pictures. Okay, ice cream is always a good thing, right? Oh no, I've got that on another page. I'm so picky. Okay, so if you just grab a picture and then drag, and when it turns blue, it's not going, there we go. When it turns blue, let go, and it'll populate right in there. Now let me show you, when you've got this selected, and you can tell with the four corners it's selected, over on the left side, sorry, the right side, the photo options folder opens up, and you can do a few things here. You can add a mat around it. So just click on that. It defaults to white. You can also change that to any of the Stampin' Up! Colors. Okay, and I think I'll go black. And you can also change the size of it, how thick you want it. Okay, and hit OK. And then you can also crop your picture. If you crop you can just crop a section of it if you want it. I'm just going to hit cancel. You can remove red eye. You can do a drop shadow, which I do a lot of drop shadows because it makes it looks fine, but it's kind of flat on the page. So if you select your photograph, hit drop shadow, you'll see this shadow coming in here. You can change that shadow to any position that you want. So I'm just going to use it on the right corner over here, and then you can change how heavy of a shadow you want, and you can change the blur on the shadow. So I usually, whatever you like, it's personal preference. The shadow color always defaults to black. You can also change the shadow color. Okay, I'm just going to hit OK. Now, right here, the photo box is already there for you. You can go ahead and double click that and add your text, and it'll pick up whatever you have on your computer for fonts. And you can just highlight that and make it bigger, maybe even bigger than that. Okay, and then I'll change it to black text. Now for adding a stamp, which I think you probably already figured out, but if I wanted to add a little something on here, even though it's a pre-designed template, you really can customize it however you want. So if you want to add a stamp or add an additional embellishment, you can certainly do that. Go over on the right side to where the stamps are, click on stamps, and I'm going to hit add stamp. And we have this lovely search box. All the stamps are listed alphabetically, but in the search box I'm just going to type flower, and all my flowers that I have on my program will pop up. So I'll just find here, this is kind of a tropical looking flower, the Bliss. I'm going to hit apply and hit close. It's going to put it right in the middle there. It's kind of big. I don't really want it to be black, so at this point my stamp is selected with the gray corners. Click on change color. And I'm going to change it to white, and you're thinking, oh, that's going to look awful. Egads, it is awful. But one of my favorite tools is this opacity, and I'm just going to drag it down, and it's going to lighten it. And it's kind of, to me, I equate it to like stamping with Versamark. And you can see it can go on top of your picture, but working with this program, we're working with layers. So your back, think of it as traditional scrapbooking. Your back piece is your traditional cardstock, your bottom layer of your page. The next you would be any of your designer paper or any of your stamping, and then your photograph and your embellishments on top. So we're going to move this layer because I want this flower to tuck behind my photograph. So while it's selected, I'm going to go over here to this button right here, change object layer, and I'm going to select send to back. And what it's going to do is tuck that flower right behind my photograph. Ta-da! So awesome. And you can also rotate it just on the corners when you get that turny. You can do that. Now I want another flower up here. So while it's selected, I'm just going to go up here to copy. And then I'm going to hit paste. It's going to offset it a little bit. And then I can just drag this one up here. And I'm going to send that to the back also. So while it's selected, send to back. Okay? Make sure you save as you go along. And I know you said you were having some trouble with stamps. I'm wondering if you're trying to change the colors on these things here. These are actually embellishments, which you cannot change the colors on. Okay, these are like die cuts, if you will. They're already pre-programmed, or they're already designed into the kit. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to get rid of this text right here. Okay, this back here, this right here is a stamp, this flourish, and if I want to change the color on that, that's easy to do. I just select that and hit change color, and then all the Stampin' Up! Colors come up. And I'm going to just pick a red just to show you. Now it doesn't look very red. That's because they had the opacity dragged down. So if I bring that opacity back up, you're going to see now that I've got a nice bright red there. Not that I want that, but just to show you how to do it. And drop shadows are available on every element of the page. So if I want to drop shadow on this as well, just select it and hit drop shadow. And again, you know, it's already, it doesn't look like much there, but when you, there you go, you can see it now. If I hit OK, and it just makes it kind of look like it's popping up on dimensionals. Now these pieces here are elements, and you can change those any way you want. I find that this one was way over before, and I just moved it because it was right on top of Jake. So I wanted to add a button in the middle of this. So all I did from here is I clicked on Add Embellishment, and then I went and I found the Baja Breeze buttons because I figured that would look nice with the Baja Breeze flower there. So I just found that button, clicked on it. You can double click it and it'll pop in, or you can just highlight it and hit apply. Okay, and then just drag that button to where you want it. Okay, see, doesn't that look so much better? On the text boxes, if you don't want text, you need to take that box out of there, because if you don't, that words place text here will print. You don't want that. And then this too, I can add another mat around this. So I think I'll use I think it's chocolate chip on this one. So maybe this color. And then you can change it, make it a little skinnier. Just give it a little, and again, you can add drop shadow and do whatever you want on that. One other thing with embellishments, they're layers as well. Now this I grouped together. I don't know if you're familiar with grouping, but let me just show you how it's on the page like this. Now when I went to move it, I moved my flower, but my brad didn't move because that's a separate piece that they added in the middle. So what I did before I move anything is I select both. On the Mac, you just select the flower, then I hit Command and the center, so everything's selected at the same time. And then I went up to Arrange and hit Group. So now it's one piece. Okay, and that makes it so much easier to move because it stays intact. Okay, so I'm thinking if you're still having trouble changing the stamps, that there could be an issue if you had trouble installing it. But if they're these little pieces like this, those are embellishments, and those can't be changed. You can tell as soon as you click on something if it's a stamp or an embellishment, because if you click on an embellishment, it doesn't give you the change color option. I clicked on this circle, that's a stamp. That's saying, oh, you can change the color of that. So I can do that. All right, I'm starting video training with my customers, so I will make sure to send those to you so that you can learn about layers and shapes and punches and all of those great things that My Digital Studio can do. And if you have questions, let me know. If there's a specific thing you want to learn, I'll be sure to make you a video so you can see how it goes. All right, my friend, call me if you need me. I'm here for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.